We have fire. It's burning down pretty good now. Just wasted all this time and effort. Let's give this another shot. Hello, welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill. Glad you could join me. Today we're going to take a look at the taut line hitch. Stay tuned. Those of you who have been following the knotcraft series that I've been doing for a while here will recognize this preloaded ridgeline hank that I put together. It's a quick deploy and recovery hank of paracord, and you can find that video. It's entitled video number 1 in the knotcraft series. If I can remember, I'll put a link to it in the description box below. But with that said, let's go ahead and get this ridgeline ran across a couple of trees here, and we'll begin with the taut line hitch. Okay, we're over here around on the other side. The line is anchored to the tree on the other side. I brought it around and wrapped it around the back side of the trunk here. The way you want to run a taut line hitch, it's a great, it's another frictioning, it's a self-tightening friction type of hitch. In other words, it's like a Prusik knot. When tension is placed on it, it tensions to the standing end of the line. And the way you do this is, it's pretty simple. Take your cordage, run it over the top, loop it once, run it around twice, bring it through the loop, over the top, and bring your cordage through the loop here, and then dress your knot up, neaten it up. And the way you tension your ridge line, you pull on the standing end and you push, or if you're standing on the other side, you could pull, push the standing end and pull the knot, whichever way you're positioned. I'm kind of in an awkward spot here due to the brush out here. This isn't exactly the most ideal location, just one that I found. So you pull on the standing end, and that pulls slack out of your ridge line, or your guy line. This can also be used to tension tent guy lines. It's really good for that aspect. And you slide your taut line hitch in the other direction towards your anchor point, and it anchors your ridge line off. Now the problem with this, I hear a lot of guys, people complaining about the taut line hitch and arguing about what's better, whether a trucker's hitch is better or the taut line, and their reasoning is that the taut line has a tendency to slip. Well, the way the taut line works, you have two loops here. These are actually the two pieces, the two components of this hitch that provide the friction that grip your standing line. This one here is just a half hitch. It has no tension on it. It just secures the knot. You can see how loose that is. This one actually provides little to no friction whatsoever in the front. So these two in the back, the two loops in the back, or turns rather, are the ones that provide the work. So I see people complaining about this, and I teach people, students, that you need to learn to think outside the box and find solutions. Sitting around in a real life survival situation where your life is dependent upon decisions, complaining about it doesn't get the job done. You need to find a way to make things work. The thought process of complaining about something is what gets people killed out there in the real world. It's very simple to fix the problem. If you're concerned about this knot slipping, instead of arguing about it, complaining about it, there's a very simple solution. Instead of 2 turns around the standing end, add an extra turn. It's very simple. Put one more in. Go straight across, over the top of the standing end, and bring your line back through your loop. Truss it up. Now you have an extra turn down here that's going to grip the standing end. Tension the line. You see how strong that is. That's a taut line with an extra turn on it. It's not going to slip. You can take it and you can add a little added insurance here. Throw in a knot to help secure it, and you're good to go. And what I like to do, you have some extra tail hanging down on the ground, just to neaten up the process. You can take it and run your tail through your little loop there to get it up off the ground and kind of clean things up a little bit. That's all you got to do. Just run an extra turn through there instead of complaining about it, and it's going to hold. It's not going to come loose. I was playing around with some paracord last night, and I invented a variation of this knot that I looked online, and I can't find anybody else has done it out there. So I call it the spearhead hitch, and I'm going to shoot a video on that here pretty soon. And it's another tensioning hitch. It's even stronger than the taut line, more secure. Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, I'm the first person to come up with the spearhead. So I'm going to run through this one more time. Repetition is always key to learning. So we have our line going around, standing in, going around the tree here. Bring your line over the top. One turn. Two turns. Go across, over the top again. Bring your line through. Dress your knot. You want it nice and neat. Pull on your standing end away from your anchor point on the other side. This pulls your slack out of your line, and that tensions up your ridge line or your tent guy line. And if you want extra insurance, you're worried about it slipping, if that is a concern, simply add one more turn in here. That gives you 3 turns around the standing end that are going to grip the standing end and provide extra friction to secure this from unwanted slippage. Dress your knot, snug it down, or your hitch rather. Pull the slack out, tension it up, and you are good to go. And put a little slip knot in here if you want a little added insurance. That, my friends, is the taut line hitch. Not all that difficult to do. It's multi-purpose uses and very simple to deploy. And you run that extra turn on there, you won't have any issues with slippage. It's pretty secure, and that eliminates all the bickering and different things I've seen people doing online, jousting over which is the better knot. You know, they're all good knots and hitches. You just have to utilize them properly. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it today. Please like, subscribe, and share. I want to take a quick moment to wave a hand at all of my new subscribers, and definitely waving a hand at the old subscribers. I definitely appreciate your support and your viewership. I have a lot of fun doing this, and love being in the outdoors. Another thing I want to mention, people think that their way is the right way. I see people that they get very arrogant, and you know, you can't expect people to do. None of this is written in stone. There's many different variations in this, and there's no one correct way of doing it. It's just like a musician who teaches students. The students aren't going to all play exactly like the teacher. As the student learns the instrument, they're going to add their own unique style into it. No two musicians play exactly alike. And it's exactly the same way in this. We can teach techniques and we can teach skills, but students are going to add their own unique brand and style and even come up with new stuff. And that's how we discover new techniques and things as time goes on. Just like that knot that I was playing around with the paracord, and I think it's a pretty cool knot. It's towards a hitch. It's pretty interesting, but I'll shoot a video on that, and you guys can give me your feedback on it. Let me know what you think. Anyways, with that said, I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located, and I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Everybody take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Bill here with Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. Glad you could join me. I'm Bill.